Hello, Future Freldren here. Before the video starts, I just want to apologize for the audio quality. Not every time, but almost every time OBS updates, it messes with my audio settings, specifically for my filters. I don't know why it does that. Just does it every once in a while. I should probably test my audio quality before I do the video. I was just going to redo the video itself, but I'm having a bit of a problem getting my audio sound better. I've gotten maybe a little bit better. There might still be a little bit of staticky noise, maybe a little bit of a tinny noise. Plus, it was picking up a lot of background noise, which it shouldn't have. So like if I accidentally bump my desk or adjusted my chair, it would have heard that, and hopefully that's fixed. Plus I probably need to get a new microphone. This thing's like 10 years old, maybe more than that. But again, apologize for that. But yeah, let's get on with the video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Freldren, and as you can see, I am back in Star Trek Online. Today I'm going to be going over the current event item. But first, let's go over how much time you have left for the event. As of this recording, this is the 14th, or the night of the 14th. You have 4 days, 15 hours, and 9 minutes. By the time you see this video, it'll be a lot less. It requires 14 days, and as you can see, I've got it. I'm claiming it here in a second, but I just want to talk about the event itself and how it connects with the event campaign. This is part 4 in the event campaign, or 5. Oh, no, 4. We can see what the next one is. So we're here on this one, number 4. Now it says up here you need to do 6 of them to complete it. So since this is part of, or this featured event is part of that, I do recommend doing this. Even if you haven't started, maybe you can get this done, do the 4 days, and then before it's over, you can buy it out with Zen. I know it kind of sucks having to buy it out with Zen, but even if I haven't reviewed this yet, so even if this item sucks, I would still say do it so you can get the event campaign done, because you get some good ships out of this and you don't want to miss out on that. Yeah, let's go ahead and claim it. All right, see down here, I got 37,500 dilithium from that. I think it's more than you're normally supposed to get. I think, is it bonus dilithium right now? I think it might be bonus dilithium. But that's a good thing, because I do need my dilithium. I was running pretty low on that. Or at least the ore, anyways. So let's go ahead and go over this item. Oh, first, let's go over this. Featured TFO reward. You have your option between enhanced universal tech upgrade and specialization points. I've talked about this before. You always get 3 of these, or like most fence, you get 3 of these. I always go with the enhanced universal tech upgrades because I still have some stuff I need to upgrade. I've been putting it off. And I like using these because they don't cost you anything at all, and they're only 30,000, but that's fine. And specialization points, you get these every time you level up after you've hit level 65. So I would always say, even if you don't even need the tech upgrades, get them anyways. They're useful. Now on to the item itself. All right, so this is called the Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault Platform. It has a standard plus 15% mine and torpedo damage and plus 15% phaser damage. So if you're doing a mine or a torpedo damage build or a phaser build, this might help you, might not. There are certainly other ways you can get your damage higher with other consoles, like your standard tactical consoles. Now this is maxed out. Gives me 37.5% phaser damage. And that's way more than that gives. Now I believe this could be upgraded though. So let me, actually, no, this can't be upgraded. Okay. Most consoles can be upgraded. All right, this one can't be upgraded, I guess. So I guess you can't increase that. Go more detail here. You can't increase that initial damage. Huh. All right. Yeah, there's definitely other ways you can increase your damage more. You don't need this console if you're going to increase your damage. But the main thing about this console is what it can do. And that is, all right, so it targets self, 1 second charge, 1 second activate, 2-minute recharge time. So it's like most consoles, 2 minutes to recharge. Creates an Agony Phaser Torpedo Assault platform for 35 seconds. It does 6,719 phaser damage. Now, this isn't going to be accurate because it's not equipped to my ship. It'll take in consideration its own added phaser damage and what phaser damage I have here. But it does phaser damage to up to 5 nearby enemies. 20% chance to disable for 4 seconds, once per 10 seconds. 133.5 phaser damage per second for 10 seconds. Ignores shields. After 30 seconds, begins self-destruct sequence. Self-destruct after 5 seconds or second cooldown or countdown. Again, this number might be wrong. Once I put it on my ship, it'll be a different number. 16,907.2 kinetic damage, 100% shield penetration, up to 5 targets within a 3-kilometer radius, and then a plus 7.5 repel to up to 5 targets, again in 3-kilometer radius. So initially, when you deploy it, it will start firing torpedoes that will do phaser damage. It has a chance to disable the enemy, and it has a chance to, or part of that will ignore your shields. It doesn't say a chance. So it'll ignore their shields and do that much damage to their hull, I guess. All right, that's pretty good. And then it'll self-destruct and do a big AoE kinetic damage. Well, I say big. 3 kilometers isn't really big. Yeah, it doesn't sound bad. I don't have any other, platforms like this, other than, I guess I have, I've got these little satellite turrets you can put down. Basically kind of the same idea, but I'm hoping that this does a lot more damage. I do also have this platform right here, but this doesn't do damage. It just negates enemy damage, basically. So now let's see. Let's find a spot to put this in. All right, so I've added to my ship. Now it looks like the damage has gone up a little bit, and it looks like it says 6,884.5 phaser damage. Go ahead and take it off again and see what that says. So it only went up by like a little over 100. So 719, 884. Not much damage was added. So Now, obviously, the kinetic one didn't go up because I don't have any kinetic damage increases. So yeah, let's go ahead and test this out. All right, so I'm here in Argala, and I'm going to deploy the turret or the platform. Let's see what it does. So you're gonna start firing at anybody, maybe because I'm not firing at anybody. All right, there we go. All right, so doing some decent damage. Now, can it hit more than one target? Yes, it can. Oh, that was a lot of damage right there. All right. I was thinking that this.
You have entered an area control.
I was thinking this might not be a good console, but it did a lot of damage. All right, let's try out some more. All right, this could be a bigger group.
Their boss might come out of hiding.
Oh wait, I got a 2-minute cooldown. I forgot about that. That's one of the things that kind of sucks about this. 2-minute cooldowns. Ugh. Definitely not good when you're trying to show something off. Yeah, I'll get back to you when the cooldown is down. All right, so these are some bigger ships, and let's test it on them. We can get a good view of the platform itself. Doesn't look too bad. All right, it's getting damaged, but it's done a decent amount of damage already, especially on the smaller ships. One of them exploded. Not so much on the big ship, but it's a tougher ship. All right, I'll defeat the main wave here, and I'll be back with the final wave. All right, so this is the final group. Much tougher. So let's go ahead and test it on them. But I'm going to give it a bit of help by putting down my defense platform. Hopefully that'll take some of the brunt of the damage. There we go. Not too bad. Doing a bit of damage. Not a lot. That ship's gone. Plus, it's also getting some help from the Benthans, but NPCs don't really do a lot of damage in this game. Yeah, you can see the platform's still going. Oh, there it goes. Did some damage to this ship. Yeah, that's basically it. It'll take me too long to recharge to show you more, so let's go take these guys out. All right, so you know, it went a little different than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be complete crap, to be honest. Sometimes consoles are just kind of gimmicky, and really don't fit in builds very well. But this one, I would say, despite the fact that it has a very low, increase to your damage, and you can't upgrade it because it won't let me. I don't know maybe if that's a bug or what. Because most universal consoles, actually, can you? I'm thinking about it now. I guess if it's a specific type, No, I'm just confusing myself. But anyways, if you could upgrade it, that would make it a lot better. Now it doesn't have a lot of health, which kind of puts it kind of down a little bit. I was gonna give it like maybe an A-, but I think I'm giving it a B+ because it would benefit from having more health, so it doesn't get destroyed right away. Now at the end there, I used my defense platform, which I believe helped it. It took the brunt of the damage for at least a little bit, allowing it to complete its job by firing at the enemies, doing damage, and then detonating at the end. So they work together as a pretty good combo. But without that, again, it would need more health to survive longer. Maybe that's something that could be worked into the next patch or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's any talks about it. Yeah, that's definitely something I would say needs to be looked into. The damage output's good. Both the initial firing of the torpedoes, and the fact that it hits multiple targets, and then the explosion when it detonates is decent. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's not terrible. I do recommend getting it if you are playing a torpedo build / phaser build, because it will add the damage to that. But again, not a lot. But yeah, it's a decent console. Like I said, B+. It would be better. You'd probably get A- or an A if it had more damage bonuses. Instead of the 50%, have it a little bit better than that. Maybe at least 30% if they're not going to allow you to upgrade it. And then more health for it so it doesn't just get destroyed. But yeah, I think if I were doing a torpedo build, I mean, I'm on a science ship. I'm kind of limited. I could put a torpedo on here. I might do that maybe in a later build. Right now I'm primarily doing a phaser build only. I don't have torpedoes on here yet. Maybe on my next ship. I do plan on getting a bigger ship, which reminds me, my next ship will be coming from the event campaign. There's a ship in here I really want. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, otherwise I'd tell you. But I could probably put some torpedoes on that, and the console will probably work well in that. But yeah, make sure you're doing these events, especially these event campaign ones. Like I said, it would suck if you missed out on one. Although, it says you need 6 of them to complete. I believe there's 7 total during the whole year. So you might be able to miss one. Don't quote me on that, but because this is 4, this will be 5, this will be 6. But I believe there's another one. Just as like a makeup one, I guess, for if people miss them. I don't know if they still do it or not. I know in the past they have. If you go into like the wiki, it'll say, or I think it's the wiki that says it. It'll say that they'll do 7 a year. But yeah, I would say this is definitely one of those ones where I was surprised. It's actually pretty decent, just not top tier. Like I said, B+. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment down below, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.